My case is pending in front of USCIS. What papers do I need to send to let USCIS know that I have more time to file my asylum application under Mendez Rojas? This is part of a video series to help asylum seekers in North and South Carolina exercise their right to apply for asylum under the Mendez Rojas case. This video is produced by the Duke Law Immigrant Rights Clinic. If you did not find this video by filling out the questions on the Google form about your case status, the information here may not apply to you. Please visit this link and answer the anonymous questions there to ensure that you are receiving up-to-date information that is specific to your situation. These videos are not intended to be legal advice. We recommend that you contact an immigration attorney to get legal advice in your specific case. If you're not sure what the status of your case is, you can watch the video below titled How to Find the Status of My Case, which will walk you through how to call the EOIR automated hotline to get information about your case. Even if you do not have a case in immigration court yet and have not sent any documents to USCIS to apply for asylum, you may still be eligible for an extended deadline to file your asylum application because of Mendez Rojas. It is very important, though, for you to know that if your asylum application is denied, you can be placed in removal proceedings. We recommend you speak with an immigration attorney before taking any action on your own. Another scenario where you may want to call an immigration attorney is if your notice to appear, or NTA, in immigration court was filed after January 26, 2021. Which is the date that the government should have started properly notifying people about the one-year filing deadline. Similarly, you must have received an NTA or been in removal proceedings on or after June 30th, 2016 to benefit from Mendez Rojas. If you received your NTA after January 26, 2021, or finished your removal proceedings before June 30th, 2016, we recommend that you check with an attorney about your Mendez Rojas eligibility. In order to exercise your right to apply for asylum more than a year after entering the United States, you will need to send specific papers to the Arlington Asylum Office by April 22, 2022. We have included links below this video where you can download these forms. There are both instruction pages with information and the forms themselves that you can fill out with the required information, such as your name and address. You can place the instruction pages next to the forms themselves so you can look at the instructions while filling out the forms. First, you will want to fill out a Notice of Class Membership. This is a form where you tell the government that you believe you are a member of the Mendez Rojas class. You may have received a notice from the Asylum Office about your eligibility for Mendez Rojas, but the form you must send is different than that form that you may have received. If you did not receive a form from the government, do not worry. You can still send in the Notice of Class Membership. The Notice of Class Membership tells the government that you can file your asylum application more than a year after you entered the United States because of Mendez Rojas. The Notice of Class Membership looks like this, and you will fill in the places that are yellow with the information that applies to you. Second is a short declaration. The short declaration is a written statement that explains that you encountered, were detained by, or taken into custody by United States immigration officials upon entering the country or within 14 days of entry into the United States, and that no one from the United States government told you about the one-year asylum deadline. The short declaration looks like this, and you will insert your name, choose the time that you talk to the immigration officials, add the city and state where you signed your declaration, and then sign the declaration. You may also need to send an asylum application. You only need to send an asylum application if you have not already filed your asylum application. The asylum application looks like this. If you have already filed an asylum application, then you do not need to send another. This form is a little more complicated and may require help from an attorney. There are also guides on how to fill it out yourself, and we have linked a video below to help you fill out the asylum application without an attorney. We have also included a link that might help you find an immigration attorney. Where do I need to send these papers? Once you have prepared the documents we just described, you will need to send them to USCIS. If you have already filed an asylum application and you live in North or South Carolina, you will send your papers to the Arlington Asylum Office. The address for that office is USCIS, Arlington Asylum Office, 1525 Wilson Boulevard, Suite 300, Mail Stop 2500, in Arlington, Virginia, 20598, 2500. If you have already filed an asylum application, but you were not living in North or South Carolina at the time, you need to send your papers to the USCIS office for the area where you were living before. To find that address, you can go to this link and type in the zip code where you lived when you filed your application, or choose the state where you were living from the drop-down menu. Once your asylum office appears, make sure to click on the name of the office to get the mailing address, which may be different than the office address that first appeared. If you live in North or South Carolina and have not already filed an asylum application, and you will be sending your application with these papers, you will need to send them all to USCIS TSC. Attention I-589. 6046 North Beltline Road, Suite 589, in Irving, Texas, 75038, 0018. If you do not live in North or South Carolina, go to this link and press Where to File to find the right address for you. Write the proper address for your situation on an envelope and put all of your papers inside. We recommend you bring your envelope to somewhere like UPS, FedEx, or USPS to make sure that you can get a shipping label with a tracking number that will tell you if USCIS received your papers or not. Keep a copy of everything you mailed to USCIS and be sure to save the tracking number of your mail so you can prove that you timely mailed these documents. Don't forget that USCIS will need to have these papers by April 22, 2022. If you believe you are a member of Mendez Rojas Group A or Group B, but you were told you were not a class member, contact the class counsel at Mendez Rojas at nwirp.org.